Come on in, everybody, and welcome back to the Cup TV, part of the Currently Unnamed Podcast Network, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come here first to quench your thirst. I'm Brook. I'm passionate about pop culture, and this is the most inoffensive Survivor premiere I have seen in a hot minute.
Well, hello, my name is Jack. I am the resident game designer of the panel, and to open our sermon today, I did want to quickly read a passage from the Survivor Bible, which states, here it is, thou shalt check the names of the people in the circle when you throw out a name, in order to make sure that person is not in said circle, or just know how to say people's names correctly for the love of God. Amen, under Suri.
Hi. Hi, my name is Rianne, but you can call me Ree. I'm feeling okay, and I hope we can swap some idols soon, because that would be fun.
Yeah, so it's officially premiere day. Australian Survivor Redemption is officially upon us. Yay! It's been too long since I've got my Aussie fix. We're on a really good high streak with Aussie. Everything's doing great. And you know, if you're gonna do a have versus have not twist, make it the 14th season of your show. I mean, they learned from Fiji. So,
Did we do it on the exact same one?
yeah. So before we get into all of that and talk about the episode, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Follow all of our links are in the description down below. Follow all of our socials in the ticker down below. And you can buy your merch, including but not limited to cup mug, at laundrycreations.etsy.com. Link is in the description down below in the ticker and right beside Jack's head. There you go. So we're coming in and we get a decently long intro package, a solid 2-minute intro package, highlighting about 10 players, which I must say for us is kind of shocking. They usually only highlight 4, but almost half the cast gets highlighted in this opening package. Did anybody immediately stand out to you all?
I'm honestly surprised that they didn't highlight either of the two people that are from other shows. Those feel like the obvious ones to highlight, but neither, as one of the names completely escaped me.
Kat and Johnson.
Yeah, as neither Kat nor Johnson got any mentions of why they're here. We got a bunch of other people, including, honestly, who I wasn't expecting right off the bat, Caleb.
Yeah. And his little thing was actually the first one we saw, which I will say bodes very well historically. That's a good sign. But him saying that he's in a truck all day and he doesn't get a chance to do anything really else. And that's all he does. And he wants to be able to redeem himself for the person he thought he could be. I was like, well, that's really sad. We don't talk about truck driving is extremely needed profession, one, but two, it's just a really unsung profession. We only really talk about truck drivers in the US whenever we're irritated at a semi taking up half the interstate. And I do feel bad that he feels that way. One person who I really liked seeing getting highlighted was Simon. It was nice seeing Simon talk about it. I was kind of surprised they showed the internet clips of people saying that he was a terrible player.
Let's just specify really quick, not even internet, specifically Survivor Australia Reddit. Of all places you're going to show, do not show a Reddit subreddit? Are you kidding me? Pull clips from somewhere. Holy shit.
They needed to show the extent of the bullying, and where can you get bullied more on the internet than Reddit? So, I mean, was really fun to see that. But we kind of just walked into this area in a big bunch of people. Everybody's kind of just bunched up, but they're off to two sides. Walked through this entire challenge course up to the front. I don't get to say this. I don't get to say JLP anymore. David is there. Welcomes everybody to the season. And I'm just going to go ahead and get the elephant out of the room real quick. David is fine. He did perfectly okay. He was okay as a host of Survivor. He is not JLP, but he is totally okay. And that's about the worst thing I'm going to say about him. He was not distractingly terrible. He did not elevate the material. That is just where I'm at with David. At least in this premiere.
Yeah. Yeah, he's neutral. I mean.
Yeah, I was going to ask, because we've talked about Aussie before. This is the first time covering Survivor on the podcast. Or at least Australian. How did you feel about the switch? Because the podcast as a whole mourned collectively when JLP left. So,
yeah, I read that, and initially about JLP, and it really shocked me, especially getting like his own Instagram, I believe, where he posts about how it was a complete blindside for himself. And initially, my gut response was, okay, I'm not watching Australian Survivor anymore out of parasocial loyalty to JLP. But by the time that now time has passed, and it's like, okay, I'll give it a shot.
Mm-hmm. I felt that really because JLP was. I mean, honestly, talk about the people on the podcast. I think he was up there as one of our favorite reality hosts, just in general. It's like him and Mother Arissa Cox and like Alan Cumming and Claudia. Like those are probably like the four that we as a podcast collectively stand the most. So losing him was a pretty big blow. Jack, I know you feel similarly. We've talked about it before.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a whole campaign set out for you to literally host a different show immediately after you get let go from one, I think there's reason to assume that you're beloved.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. JLP was just kind of perfect for Survivor. That's the only thing that made it hard. But c'est la vie, David and that. So David's hosting is fine. And instead of it being elaborate or anything, it's just, hey, groups, we're going to cleave you straight down this line. So this side is the green tribe. This side is the purple tribe. And I'm like, oh, we're really pulling into the Disventure Camp well of naming tribes after colors now. Okay, awesome. But no. We find out that the tribes are going to earn their tribe names, which at first I thought that was going to be the reward, was that the winning tribe would get to choose their tribe name, which
inherently is, I think, the funniest reward I've ever heard of.
Like, imagine it's like Jeff is doing his intro. It's like, the winning tribe will get to name their tribe. You guys get to pick between the blue beach and the purple beach. And the tribe that wins gets to choose if they want to be known as the blue tribe or the purple tribe. Like, I can just feel Jeff Probst salivating at this as a concept. No. We find out that the winning tribe will become this opening reward challenge. Also, Survivor US bring back reward challenges. Damn it! Will become the bounty tribe and have a fully built shelter and a whole lot of fruit and some rope, and basically they're having a lot of their needs taken care of. Oh, and they have fire. They already have flint and like a decent number of other things. They have a hammock.
Yeah.
And then the tribe that loses this opening reward challenge will become the Baron tribe, and they get nothing. They get squat. Go build your own shelter, heathen. So just like Survivor US, season 14 is where we decide to bring out the haves versus have-nots twist, and we'll see if it turns out better this time. I will say, this version is so significantly less imbalanced than the Survivor Fiji incarnation, but
Yes.
I still immediately was like, oh god, we're doing this. Okay, we're doing this again. Lovely. But here we are. What was your guys' initial thoughts on that when you were feeling it?
Dread. Because of Survivor Fiji. It pretty much everything, such a big part of the show was pretty much decided by which tribe wins the first immunity.
Yeah, this is so weird because this isn't even the first time we've seen this specific Baron versus Bounty thing kind of pushed into Australian Survivor. If we remember back to last season, and this is why initially I was like, wait, we're calling them what? We already did this. Day 33 of Brains versus Brawn 2, they randomly split the game into two tribes and then essentially had them compete for tribal immunity in order to just save that group. So why are we repeating? We're repeating a twist here that we've seen gone horribly wrong in the past, but you got away with it because you did it for one round. But now we're going to do it for a full season, even though we saw that go horribly wrong before. Granted, we put guide rails on it, but still a very questionable decision in my mind.
Yeah. It's an updated version of it, but hi.
Yeah, it's not the best thing that they could have brought into this game. I'll just say that. And also, I do hate that this opening challenge was basically the tribe that's. So yeah, it's not the best thing they could have brought in. I do think this is something that does worry me, especially considering this opening challenge basically amounted to whichever tribe is physically the strongest is going to win this opening reward. It's pretty much what it amounted to. I will admit there was a little bit of that puzzle element going on here with the pyramid, but there were several different ways to solve this puzzle. I'm just gonna say that. So I don't know if I really would count that, but here we are.
It was really a checksum to make sure that they actually made the pyramid. Really, this was not a puzzle. It was more of a task.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so they have to carry these large blocks and build them into a pyramid, pretty big pyramid, I will say. And then the entire tribe pushes the platform the pyramid's on to the spot. Somebody climbs up, grabs a key. Someone then runs to the end, unlocks a lock to get a torch. And then once the pyramid has made it all the way to the end of the track, then they light the torch, light this ball, and that sets this brazier on fire. And whoever lights their brazier first wins reward. Not much interesting happens in this challenge. I'll just be blunt. I'm going to touch on the one thing.
Besides the one interesting thing that does happen.
Yeah. Kind of a boring challenge, to be honest. Visually, it was really uninteresting. I'll just be blunt. But yeah, the Purple Tribe, aka the Bounty Tribe. Now, so this is we don't really have any attachment to these people beyond Simon and Harry at this point. So congratulations, the tribe that Simon and Harry are on. You guys are the Bounty Tribe.
Yeah.
And then of course the Green Tribe then becomes the Baron Tribe. So my apologies to the tribe that Brook and Mark are on. and Tess because we like Tess.
And Johnson, we like Johnson and Kat. Like we like both of them too. Like we like most of these people.
Well, you tell me if you saw Kat in this episode because I certainly didn't. Beside the point. So yeah, the only thing to note here is that Lyndall, when she is running to go unlock the torch, there's a little piece of parchment just like sitting there in the little torch rack. And she sees it and she snags it. So we'll come back to that later. But Lyndall has a little something up her sleeve after this opening challenge. So shall we start with the Bounty Tribe in the pre-immunity challenge goings on over there? That was not horrible. It was genuine.
I think we go for it.
Awesome. So we get to Bounty Beach, and it's just as lovely as they describe. Gorgeous shelter, big basket of fruit, lots of bananas. We see a lot of bananas. Everybody seems to be in the feel-good kumbaya kind of energy. Nobody's really rustling feathers the wrong way. And it just seems to start off in a very good place. However, Harry is worried. Harry is terrified. I mean, I will say, when you're doing the opening introduction and somebody refers to you as your old moniker, Dirty Harry, maybe I get it. Maybe I understand.
Just a little.
Just much.
Yeah.
So Harry decides, you know what? I am going to pull people in, and I'm just going to play a good, well-rounded social game and be loyal. Because if people think I'm not loyal, that's awful, and I'm dead. So he gets Simon first, and they quickly agree, yeah, we need to look out for each other, because if one of us goes, the other one's probably screwed. They devise a code where if, while they're cooking, they can ask each other about the game based on the quality of the rice. I'm going to steal that if I ever end up on US Survivor, because that's actually kind of brilliant. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I mean, incredibly simple code, but essentially undetectable. And if they need to, they can have a conversation later about the specifics. So, exactly the kind of flag setting you want for two people who are very much going to be looked at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we get these opening segments of Harry just talking with everybody, and everybody's seemingly drinking the Harry Kool-Aid, including Lyndall, who is our other opening star from these opening segments. Lyndall looks at her little note and finds out that there is an immunity idol underneath the tribe flag, or as the tribe sign, as she refers to it, which is a new one. I like that. So she goes and tries to dig it up during the night. She doesn't really have a ton of time because it's right beside the shelter. So she ropes in Laws and, just kind of like, hey, there's an idol and I want to work with you. Will you help me get it? And she finds it. Quickly, the two of them find this idol. They build a secret ride or die alliance, which we'll see how long that lasts, but you know what? Good for them. I'm happy for them because I like Laws. She's fun. But there's a twist. She can't use this idol. Jack, I want you to tell me, because I can tell your game brain was like mentally screwed by this. I can feel it.
Yeah. So the catch is, so this idol is actually the other tribe's idol. And you can tell the other tribe, hey, the idol that you need to find is in the exact same location underneath your tribe flag, and you need to now get that one. There is a thing about Australian Survivor where they do push limits a lot, and I do think this kind of cross-tribal like deal making is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're testing the waters, especially after last season where they kind of messed with it a little bit as well. I am afraid of what they are going to try and do in future seasons if this goes over well. To where they're going to be like, so what you need to do right now is convince 3 people on the other tribe to vote for someone of your choice. That person cannot go home. If you do that, you get a 3-part idol, in which is only good on the actual 3rd tribe that also exists in the game, but you don't know that yet. Like I'm expecting some crazy shenanigans if this goes well, and it does slightly frighten me.
See, that would require Aussie to do a 3-tribe season, and that's not happening anytime soon. So
Yeah,
they're happy with their 2 tribes, and you know what? US, take notes. But it kind of reminds me a little bit of Token Teens in that idea of like, hey, there's this exile island, but you and another person from another tribe are going to go to exile together, right? And we're getting to see a little bit of interplay between the tribes because it's not something we really get that much on US Survivor outside of like, tribe swaps. Like I can't think of another time in US in recent years it's happened other than the journeys, which we started to see more and more. Which, kind of like them. Don't like the advantages all the time, but I kind of like the idea. I don't think I've ever publicly disclosed that about how I feel about these inter-tribe minglings. I think they're kind of fun. I don't think this is too game breaky. I think, this rewards Lyndall for being the person who's willing to stick her neck out on this tribe to try to find this idol, and also for being the person who is willing to, not hide in the background in this opening immunity challenge when she very easily could have. And we'll talk about what she does with this idol later on. So now, anybody have any other thoughts on the Bounty Tribe before we move to the Baron Tribe? Any thoughts that?
They're happy now.
So we go to the Baron Tribe. We get the introductions, and this is kind of the Dawn show in this first segment. Is mostly Dawn. Dawn is just directing traffic. Dawn is getting the shelter built poorly. And Brook even says, I've done this before. I've built shelters. Am I going to tell him he's doing it wrong? No. But here we are. I would not sleep in the shelter. I'll just say that. I would sleep on the beach. I don't care if crabs are going to pinch me while I'm asleep. I would sleep on the beach.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Dawn is going to kill someone. We're going to get medevacs due to Dawn's shelter. It's going to be a bad time. Stuff is already falling apart. Like, Jesus Christ.
It's
wasn't there a shot of someone almost getting hit in the head with bamboo or something?
Yeah, we see they kind of build this like TP-esque structure at first. And then because they didn't dig a hole for the posts in the ground, like the main support poles for this, it just flops over and it lands about a foot away from somebody. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, y'all, come on. It cannot be that hard. You have a machete, you have rope. Like, come on, you can do something more than this. Is this the biggest disaster shelter since Rupert's All-Star shelter? That is the real question. It's very possible.
Yeah, I do remember Brain v Bronze. They knew Brain's tribe. They named their shelter the pig pen because it was so dirty and messy. But it's I don't think it was bad, just messy.
Yeah, the shelter was rough. Let me put it that way. they don't even finish it by the time the night hits. They sleep underneath this like semblance of a structure. They have no palm fronds on top of it. It is literally like they're sleeping under a frame. And then they're just basically in the open air. So good job, Baron Tribe. You're living up to your name quite well.
Oh yeah.
But on the other side of this beach, we see Mark making some moves early on, building some connections, telling people, telling us in confessionals he didn't play Cutthroat enough last time. And that is what cost him and his allies the first time he played. Is that the only thing that cost him the first time he played? No. But is this the edit we're probably going to be getting? Yes. So I'll let him live his life. We see he starts building some early connections. When you all saw Mark doing this, did you what's your head at with Mark right now? I'm curious.
Okay.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Mark is the oddball in terms of fraternities on this cast. Like, everyone else was very early on, very like kind of looking at that second or third shot, looking for like something huge after being away for a while. Mark basically was on this beach very recently, so he's very just like, how can I play the same game but again? And like he's talking about like, I wasn't cutthroat enough last time. I need to like shape up my game. And then he looks to make another Valeria. Mm-hmm. Like straight up, that's all I could see in his kind of like move here was just like, I had a good relationship with Valeria last time. Let me just do the same thing again. And it's very, very confusing to me on like if this is actually going to give him any chance to redeem himself, or if it's just going to kind of like default back into the scenario he was before.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that, Ree?
Yeah, okay. I did like that he did seem to really connect with Faith, because they had like a shared, they were both fans of punk music and rock music. And so they bonded over that a little bit. And so I guess that's could be a good relationship for him. But for the rest, yeah, I don't really know. Mm-hmm. It didn't really tell me much.
Yeah, it was interesting to see him get to that point where he starts getting these connections. We see that Ruby Soho alliance come together with him and Faith. It was interesting to see a little bit of content on Faith. I didn't really expect that after the opening, where we didn't really see her much at all, and then it's kind of just, hey, this is Faith, you should like her, and they tell us a little bit more about Faith. It was kind of interesting to see that, because Faith is just a really fun character to this point. She's really interesting, and I'm curious to see if she's going to stay loyal to Mark, or if this is us getting set up for Faith stabbing Mark in the back. Because that's kind of where my brain is at right now, is that Faith is about to stab Mark in the back sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
But also importantly, people are getting annoyed with Dawn rather quickly. They don't like him being bossy. We see a moment, he asks Tez to hold his hat, right? Tez just grabs the hat and is like holding the hat, and Dawn's yelling at him about crushing and killing his hat. And I'm like, my guy, it's a hat. If you didn't want him to hold it, why did you ask him to hold it? What do you mean? We didn't. And the thing is, if he had like scrunched the hat or something, I think they would have shown it. I don't think he even remotely messed up that hat. No. We'll find out a little bit more information about that in the coming days. I have a feeling. But when we're I was just watching, I was like, what are we doing? And then he tells him to go just sit it down. It's the last time he's ever going to touch his hat. like it's some prize. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah. Tess then like jokingly puts it on the beach or something, and then he puts it in a normal place. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like you said, like he it's not like that. He's like really clumsy with it, or just like a big dude crushing that thing in one hand. Like he just holds it, like any other person would.
Yeah, I mean, he really is. He's going into this like, look, I can't imply that I'm any past player's like brother. Like this is just going to put me in a bad spot. And is then acting like he already did that and actually is that player with that kind of reputation of like, you should already know this, that you shouldn't do this and not do this. And also you should listen to me completely. Jesus, man, like, calm down. Just calm down.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also I want to be clear when we're talking about like some of these other people, you might think we're kind of flying through these camp segments. They don't really, if you've not watched Aussie before, they highlight like 5 players in these opening couple episodes, and that's usually about it. It'll either be somebody who's going to be relevant for like the long term, or it's going to be something that like is or somebody who's going home super early. So if you're a Mark fan, a Dawn fan, a Faith fan, a let's see, who else is getting highlighted early on the other tribe? You have Harry. If you're a Harry fan, if you're a Lyndall fan. If you're a Daniel fan, good luck. Enjoy these this first week. So we head to the immunity challenge, and we find out that the bounty tribe has decided to rub in this opening victory by eating a banana, individually eating bananas in front of the Baron tribe before the challenge.
Oh,
Lovely.
Oh, so petty.
I love it. I love how, and also, I don't even know if it was actually Caleb's birthday, but the idea of Caleb guilt tripping the other tribe into giving him one of their bananas by saying it was his birthday. I see you, Caleb. I see you.
I love
Caleb, we don't really get a ton of Caleb content. We get like that opening intro and then literally just this one little thing at the challenge. I have my eye on this man. I think he's going to be fun, and I'm hoping he sticks around for a little bit longer because if they let him keep doing character moments like this, I think I'm going to become a big fan of this.
Yeah. He did have a match yet, I think. The very first one.
Mm-hmm.
When David was interviewing some people.
He did. And the thing with Caleb, too, is that, and specifically Caleb, he's not the main character of that or really any part of this episode, but he kind of pops up enough to make me think he's going to be relevant a little bit longer term. Which is, again, something Aussie likes doing is people that are going to be sticking around for a bit. It's also something I'm feeling about Tez, too, is that they may not be the main character of everything that's going on right now, but they make a point to tell you their name in these early episodes, and then they show up a few times throughout the episodes, even if it has nothing to do with them. So Matt has that happen. Tez has that happen. Laws has that happen in this episode a few times. Like they just show up every now and then, give you their point of view, but not really in confessionals. And I think historically it does pretty well. So we'll see. So we go to the immunity challenge. It is a weird little obstacle course kind of thingy. They have these big wheels and they have to carry them across the beach. They have to get them up and over this ramp, take it under this net, and then take it up 3 big stairs to the top of this platform. They then have to roll the wheel down this platform into these slots, like it's a coin going into a little coin slot. And the first tribe to land all 3 of the wheels in these slots wins immunity. If they miss one of the wheels, they have to then have two people go down, attach a rope to it, and then pull it back up to the top. This challenge could have taken a long time had they not had Mark. I'll just say that.
Yeah, this basically once we got to the wheel section, it was so obvious who was winning. It was not even a question.
Real talk, I'm just gonna say, I think if they do something like this in the future, maybe don't make them roll the big wheels down. Maybe make the big wheels be like a ladder at the end, like you put them in these little slots and they turn into a ladder, and then you get to the top of the platform and you roll these smaller wheels down. Because them having to, like, if they miss any shot, having to lug these wheels back up to the top, and these slots are like big, but the wheels are huge too, so they can be off by just a few inches and hit one of the support posts, which happens several times in this opening section. I don't know how well this challenge was designed. I think this challenge was fine. Oh well. And, you know, talking about the outcome, because quite frankly, challenge talk is not our specialty here. We go, and the Bounty Tribe gets to the top first. They have all their wheels going, and they can't seem to line it up with these slots. They're struggling pretty bad. On the other hand, Baron misses their first one, and then Mark's like, move, let me do this. Let me take care of it. Shove. He hits both of them. They quickly pull the other wheel back up to the top. Mark nails the third one, meaning upset of the century. The Baron Tribe wins the opening immunity challenge.
Hey.
Good job. Good stuff. Glad to see it.
Yeah, no, this is very much thank God kind of scenario in terms of, hey, the have-not tribe isn't getting completely screwed over and they actually have a shot at this. Like, we actually have a chance to see some interesting things happen.
Mm-hmm. I want to be clear. We talk about this tribe being the have-not tribe. In comparison to the have-not situation in Fiji, the Fiji situation is 10 times worse, okay? The Have Tribe had a pre-built shelter, which I will say is a big boost, some fruit, and a fire-making kit, and a hammock. It's not like they had, you know, an outdoor luxury resort like the people in Fiji had, versus pot and machete. Like, it's pretty reasonable differences here, but nothing crazy. Yeah, so the Baron Tribe wins immunity. They celebrate like they just found out one of them won the lottery. They are losing their mind with joy. Get a specific moment of Mark getting the thing. He says, "Happy birthday, Caleb," and the entire tribe just like screeches. I'm like, okay, I get it. I understand. I would probably be happy too, but y'all are doing too much. This is too much. Like, too much for me. I get really bad secondhand embarrassment when I watch things like this. This was giving me really bad secondhand embarrassment. But yeah, so Baron Tribe wins. We don't see them for the rest of the episode. They are out of mind.
There is one note though before we head back.
Yeah.
Thank you. I almost forgot. Remember how we talked about Lyndall finding the idol that had to go to a Baron Tribe person? Well, Lyndall goes and standing at the side, like there's a little bit of a like baby gate between the two teams for this last part of this challenge. She kind of whispers over to Brook and is like, "Hey, I found an idol, but it's for your tribe, and you have an idol for my tribe in the same spot. I'll give you my idol if you go find the other one, and we can swap." And Brook's like, "Duh, absolutely, I'll do that. Why would I not do that?" We're gonna see if how Brook does with that. I'm assuming either in the next episode or maybe even the one after. But because we don't see the rest of the Baron Tribe for the rest of the episode. But I will tell you right now, if we're getting a girl boss alliance between Brook, Laws, and Lyndall in this season, I'm sad. So we go back. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I cannot complain about this kind of like weird cross tribal between Lindell, who's really shown to be like a strong player out the gate. And I think we all said like, yeah, no, models have shown to be amazing players of this game. And she's once again just like proving that stereotype absolutely true. And then Brook, who we're all rooting for, and are like, yes, good.
Icon. So importantly, though, we did forget to mention one little thing about the Bounty Tribe earlier. Before they had finished their segment, it kind of seemed like everybody was thinking Rich was the least connected person on the tribe. It wasn't that nobody liked him; it was just nobody was really like close with him quickly. And it seemed like it just might be a consensus Rich boot is where we start when we get back to Bounty Beach. About half of the tribe is gathered around the well, and we're just sitting there waiting for somebody to open their mouth. Daniel finally talks, and he's like, "Look, nobody really wants to throw out a name. I would personally like to keep Harry and Simon around." Harry's sitting right there by the table, right. He's like, "I appreciate that, thank you." Which at first I thought that was going to be the only okay thing from Daniel in this episode. We'll talk about it. But we get this little moment. Everybody's kind of like, Rich is the least connected person on the tribe, and it just makes sense to maybe get him out of here while we can. Nobody's really going to be mad about it, and that is. It just seemed like where we were going pretty early. But then overplaying Jones renders his ugly head. As one does when we're talking about early episodes of Survivor, specifically Australia. And we see two different plans start to form. So first off, Daniel is trying to be open and honest about this with everybody, but you can't really do that on Survivor all the time, especially in the first round. And we see Simon and Rich and somebody else was over there too. I don't remember. It was a woman. Are over by the fire pit asking, "Oh, what happened at the well? What's going on at the well?" And Daniel's being a little coy about it at first. He's like, "Well, I wanted to keep the returning players around. I let everybody know that." I'm like, "Okay, shut your mouth and don't say another word, but good stuff. Okay." And then Rich is, tending to the fire. And Simon goes, "Oh, so did you all talk about it?" And Daniel's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, who did you all, what was the decision?" And Daniel literally, Rich is tending to the fire. Now, I will say, Daniel did do this behind his back, goes, and just points at Rich. You're kidding me.
Never let superfans play this fucking show, I swear to God.
Jack, stop saying that. We need to get more of us on Survivor US. Stop that.
Not on Australian Survivor. Keep them away from the
Australian Survivor, we can temper it a little bit, but
I'm gagged. I'm sorry. This segment alone, I was like,
oh.
I literally had to pause the episode, and I was like, he did not just do that. Did he actually just do that? Are you serious? And then to double up, he's having a conversation later with other people, and he accidentally throws out another name. That wasn't even the name he was going after. He messes up names like that. I'm like, oh my God, you're doing what we do because we don't actually live on the beach, but you've been on the beach for 2 days. You should at least know who you're targeting, who you're going after, and what they look like. It reminded me a lot of Survivor Philippines when Carter says to they're having that little thing at the beach, and Carter's like, "So Penner, who are you voting for, Katie or Penner?"
Okay.
Bring Carter
Are
Williams
you
back.
voting
to
for
Survivor.
Katie or yourself?
Are you voting for Katie? Bring Carter Williams back to Survivor. Beside the point. But yeah, so damn awkward. And it quickly spreads around the tribe that Daniel is doing too damn much. Daniel is loose lips are sinking ships, and the ship that is sinking right now is Daniel's game. And it does seem like we might be moving now to a quick consensus Daniel boot. But then something really interesting happens that I did not expect to see happen. I'll just be blunt. We see a quick little push, and it starts with Cameron. He's like, I'm not here to just coast and do the easy stuff. I want to make a move early. And he starts getting a little contingent of people together. He's like, look, we can take out Jackson. He's a big, athletic guy that's going to be a threat in the long term. We have a bunch of strong dudes on this tribe already. We do not need more of them, right? I'm a strong guy. I'm an MMA fighter. Simon's ripped. Harry's got muscles. Like, we don't need all of this, right? We can take one of them out. And if we get rid of Jackson now, he's not a threat in the long term. We can just get him out of here now. You have earned my stand card for this one conversation, this one thought alone. Good job.
No.
I got 3 meat tray. Thank you so much.
And also for his confessionals. He had 2 really good ones.
How are you feeling about it, Jack? Because I can tell you have thought.
I think we're actually seeing someone correctly play this. Like, basically going like, yeah, we have enough muscle. We can drop one of them, because he's probably thinking along the lines of, hey, I know that Jackson is likely going to shift to Simon and Harry because that kind of broiness is something I can already see. So let's just kick him out now. But we don't have to go crazy. We just need to get a small group together and do it. We don't need to pitch it to everyone. We don't need to do all this crazy stuff. Let's just relax. And Cameron is showing that he's good at this game because, oh, God, just send it.
I really liked Cameron's we get a little package for him here too. And he goes, I'm an MMA fighter with a losing record. Right? Yeah, I was like, I wonder what that mindset is like, right? Like, now granted, he's only had 6 fights, so like at the time of filming, so like clearly it's not like he's like a veteran MMA fighter, like a perennial loser or anything. And his record's not terrible for someone who's like entering the profession. But him saying, I lose more than I win, and that makes me need to be here to get some sort of redemption. I'm like, oh, I am all in for this man. I'm enamored with this man as a player in one episode. I'm telling you right now, he can go home next round, and I'm still going to be like, wow, this is a really cool character, and I want to see more from him. He is already on my list of people that I'm like, yeah, this is somebody who could do some really cool stuff on this season.
Yeah.
But we see Cameron start pushing ahead. Not loudly, not publicly, just quiet conversations in the corner. We see him pull in Laws and be like, hey, Jackson. And Laws is like, Jackson. Interesting. And we kind of see this little group of people slowly form together. Laws says, I can get Lyndall. Laws, you need to keep your mouth shut. It's supposed to be a secret alliance, but good luck. And it seems like Lyndall's on board. Jackson goes and talks to Simon, and it seems like Simon might be on board. And we start seeing the formation of a plan come together as we head to Tribal Council. Going into this Tribal, I'm just going to go ahead and ask, did you all think we were actually going to see the Jackson blindside or not?
No.
Mm-hmm.
There were too many things leading up into it that were like, oh, everyone is just annoyed with Daniel and how hard he tried to play this, and no one trusts him, and they all have just like kind of ceasefired. I thought it was possible for a second, but I will note that Daniel near the end of this, like near the end of the strategy before tribal, also throws out laws for no reason.
Oh,
So
he does
like,
do that, you're right.
yeah. So at that point, when I hear he's throwing out a third name that no one is interested in voting it on, like he's done. Like we're gonna see a complete fold here. Either that or he's gonna be completely left out and be fodder for the next round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was very interesting for me here to see this outcome because see where we're heading into this tribal. Because I will say, when we were doing our early season stuff, he was somebody we were pretty high on because we thought, he's gonna make these connections, somebody, in a good spot. And I think he did, and I think he just didn't know what to do with that. And I think, we talk about, social game is, being able to connect with people. It's also being able to utilize those connections effectively. And we see here, Daniel, oh, Lord and sweetie, you tried really hard. You did your best, and I cannot fault you. But we go to the votes. This tribal council is kind of a wash, I'll be honest. Daniel has voted out 11-1. A unanimous boo on the first round. I don't like it. It is unfortunate to see because I like him a lot. He was very he was a nice person, and I think he just was not ready to play a game like Survivor.
I think simply put, he needed to get used to social strategy, used to get used to deception. I think, I can't remember exactly who says it during this tribal. I want to say maybe it's Paula, but she ends up saying, you have to be able to make the correct move, and it might not be a big move, or something very close to that. I think that's very much the thing that Daniel hadn't figured out. He was trying to make these big swings very, very early on and just had no basis and was doing far too much for something that people kind of agreed to anyway. And he basically took the target off of Jackson and strapped it to his own back. So I just did not see a world out of it, and he was trying to be a great, and it just did not work out.
Yeah, shame. I liked him, and I think he did seem to do well in the beginning, or well enough for the first few votes, but he just talked himself out of the game.
Well, there are two more things to note in the episode that we can discuss Daniel as a player a little bit more. So first, not only is Daniel out of the game, he's very generous about it. Like, he doesn't take it hard. He's going to get his torch, and Simon pulls a Natalie Cole on him. He pulls an Angelina Keeley on him, I should say. Daniel,
and it worked.
Daniel.
And he says yes is the weird part. He's like, yeah, I ain't got no use for the same way. Take it.
Not I. I would never, not in a million years. After every single one of these damn bitches voted me out, not in this life. I'm not giving them shit. To borrow a phrase from Stacey Powell, keep that hug, bloop, because it wasn't real. And but no, Daniel's a better sport than I am, and he hands Simon his jacket. who like immediately bundles up with it. I'm like, how fucking rude. I'm sorry, I love Simon, but this might be the single rudest thing I've seen someone do on Aussie in a hot minute. Like I'm kind of gagged. But yeah, Daniel Tribe has spoken and all that. And then we get perhaps the best last words in any season of Australian Survivor that I can recall. Perhaps the best last words since 600 grand since after Obama takes it. In which case, Daniel, he says he thinks he was doing a really good job until the scramble hit. I'm like, I agree with you. I think you were in a good spot until the scramble happened. And then he says this.
Did I find redemption? Well, thing is, I'm already redeemed through Christ.
Okay, cheers to that. Cheers.
Yeah, no, like, good for you for having probably one of the funniest exit lines in the history of this show. What the fuck?
Will this end up mismanaging Daniel back to Australian Survivor? I don't know. But what I can tell you is this. He's going to get remembered for something. And you know what? That is more than a lot of other first boots can say. So good on you, champ. And you know what? I'm happy that you are okay. I'm happy that this did not mentally and emotionally destroy you like I know it would and has done to a lot of other people. So
my guess is that going into Tribal, he kind of realized that he had screwed up and it was probably over. Like, he very much was like, as he was getting the votes, like, yeah, no, that makes sense. Because I think even in that like moment, he's like, yeah, I threw out 3 names today, including throwing out someone's name in front of them by accident.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of can feel where this is going, and I kind of just have to hope that things work out, but I also shouldn't be surprised if I'm done.
I do feel like they probably let him know on the way to Tribal and was like, look, it's just, you talk too much. You don't keep your mouth shut. And he did kind of seem like he knew it was going to be him. And you know what? Maybe it helped that it wasn't a blindside. I don't know. What I can tell you is Daniel is officially our first person out of this season. You will be missed because I do think you were entertainingly bad at Survivor, which is, again, more than a lot of other bad players can say. So good on you. Meaning, Logan is officially currently in last in our draft. Yay. Everybody clap. Yay.
So
that was a reference. You actually have to.
Would you say that Logan maybe needs redemption on this draft?
Possibly. We'll end up seeing.
Play the outro. Play the outro. Please play the outro. We're done here.
We are currently in a 4-way tie for first, and Logan is in last. That is all I can say as of right now. Logan takes the first hit in our draft. Everybody else, of course, first elimination. Nobody else has went out. We have everybody still. However, we got 2 more episodes of Australian Survivor this week. And something exciting is happening tomorrow. We're not going to go into specifics today, but let me just be very clear and say I'm very excited for what is coming tomorrow. So keep your eyes on the channel for our coverage of episode 2 because something fun's happening. But don't forget, Australian Survivor is airing tonight and tomorrow night. And then we're moving to a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday schedule. So for us, it's going to be early on all 3 of those days in the U.S. Because Australia is 16 hours ahead of us. We will get you the coverage out as soon as we possibly can. But make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so as soon as these episodes go out, you're ready to watch them because we're covering this whole season. We got a lot of Australian Survivor to go. Survivor 50 on Wednesday. If you are a Survivor fan, you are about to be fed with one of the loveliest reality TV cycles possible, getting US and us at the same time. Yay. But as we head out, I just want to say thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Hit the subscribe. Buy your merch at laundrycreations.etsy.com. And we will see you tomorrow with a special something happening. So, thank you so much for joining us today, and we will see you later. Cheers, everybody. Bye.
Cheers.